The first Wizard King, Lumiere Silvamillion Clover, is one of the most revered characters in Black Clover. A pioneer in magic science, he possessed the power to combat a demon of country-sized proportions that was a threat to all humanity. Throughout much of Black Clover's narrative, Lumiere was considered one of the strongest figures in the entire series. However, in the recent Spade Saga and in the final saga, his power has somewhat been overshadowed by newer characters. Despite this, revisiting Lumiere's extraordinary strength and speed reveal his surprising prowess, often overlooked due to his primary focus on magic science rather than combat. Had he focused on fighting and lived a full life, because remember, he died at the age of 25, he might have reached even greater heights than discussed in this video, surpassing his already formidable capabilities. Comment down below now how strong you think Lumiere is, and then edit your comment to see if your opinion changed. And then also, please leave a like if you enjoy. I don't know if you guys can get it there, but if this gets 3,000 likes, I will do a pretty big versus battle involving Lumiere, maybe against Minato from Naruto. Lumiere was a character that existed over 500 years before the beginning of the Black Clover story. 500 years before Chapter 1, when Asta and Yuno get their grimoires. Lumiere was born to royalty within the Clover Kingdom, and he was blessed with light magic and then eventually a 4-leaf Clover grimoire. While he does have combative spells, which would imply he does partake in fights, the narrative clearly shows that he takes more of an interest in magic technology, as shown with his Swallowtail device and the Imperial Sword. What's kind of sad is that a lot of people have kind of forgotten where Lumiere used to stand in the pecking order of Black Clover power scaling. And now I see people saying that he's only small country level because he's relative to Demon Licht that would destroy the Clover Kingdom, and they'll say he's light speed because he has light magic. But these are clearly some of the lowest possible interpretations you can have of the first Wizard King. He's actually way more powerful than this. There's a very interesting set of statements in the Black Clover anime that can upscale the power of Lumiere, and we can say this episode is canon. While it is believed that a lot of the extended scenes of the Black Clover anime in the beginning are non-canon filler, they are constantly referenced in the mid-time skip anime arc, which was supervised by Tabata and his editor. Extended scenes from episode 2 are explicitly referenced in those episodes, making these incoming statements and feats canon. In the scene where Sister Lily reads the story of Lumiere versus the Ancient Demon, we get a few interesting statements. It is stated on multiple occasions that Demon Licht was going to destroy the world, which I know world can mean multiple different things, but the other statement is that Demon Licht covered the world in darkness, and it is stated that it was the whole world. Whole world typically will mean planet, not just a society of what the term world can mean. Also, the word okoku is typically used when the kingdom is being referenced, as that means kingdom in Japanese. This actually implies the demon's destruction would go beyond the Clover Kingdom based on the wording. But how does the ancient demon typically cover the area in darkness? With thick, dark clouds. You might think this is really nothing, but cloud feats are actually very impressive in fiction. For example, Asta splitting these clouds in the line of the sun arc is a multi-continental to moon level feat based on the sheer weight of the clouds and how fast they were dispersed. But how strong would Demon Licht need to be to cover the entire planet in dark clouds? There's no time frame in the manga outside of the planetary cloud seemingly forming instantly, but in the anime it takes around 26 seconds to happen. Assuming that the Black Clover world is the size of Earth, that would require the cloud to have spread at around 1,500 kilometers a second. And we can use the average volume and density of storm cloud to get its weight at nearly 700 quadrillion kilograms. If we use the kinetic energy formula, that would make this feat of forming this cloud to be 65.3 exatons of TNT, or moon level. This is pretty interesting when you pair this with the other statement of it being able to destroy the world. If Demon Licht can produce moon level energies by just spawning in, then who's to say he couldn't actually destroy the planet with an actual charged up attack? So this would put Demon Licht at those likely planetary levels. And Lumiere scales relative to Demon Licht. And actually the strongest version of Lumiere is probably stronger than Demon Licht. A lot of people miss this, but Lumiere just blatantly absorbs the magic power of Demon Licht. He takes the Swallowtail device and absorbs the attack and also absorbs a bunch of its magic power. And no, it's not just the device absorbing it. Lumiere is absorbing it. This is why after he's able to affect Zagred's power, and this is just blatantly stated by Zagred, the Lumiere absorbed Licht's demon power. So after absorbing its power, Lumiere should just be stronger than Demon Licht and would also scale to those planetary levels of power. In fact, Lumiere himself has an impressive feat where he actually disperses Licht's storm cloud across the entire world, and he actually does it in 7 seconds, which actually upscales the feat to small planetary. If Lumiere can produce a small planetary feat without trying to destroy the planet, then it makes the Demon Licht destroy the world statements likely at least planetary in power. Now, there are clouds left over after Lumiere does this, but these are not dark clouds. These are the clouds that were already there before Demon Licht spawned in. Why would Lumiere want to destroy all the clouds in the world and not the dark cloud that was surrounding the entire scape in darkness? Now, I understand your reservations. This could just be an outlier if it is stated prior that Licht was going to destroy the country only, but that is not the full context. Lumiere's statement is actually implying that even if he blocked Demon Licht's attack, the Clover Kingdom would be destroyed. What that means is that either just the collision of their attacks, which would be lesser than the attack hitting the actual land, or if he countered the demon's attacks and small fractions of its magic still hit the kingdom and it would destroy it. So all it's really saying is that a small fraction of Demon Licht's power would destroy the Clover Kingdom, and we can just scale Lumiere above characters' feats from other parts of the series. For example, in the data book it is stated that the Fire Spirit Salamander can vaporize an ocean. This ranges anywhere from 11 petatons of TNT to 20 exatons of TNT, depending on the size of the ocean. Both are multi-continental in terms of power, with the higher end being very close to moon level. But just think about it like this. The salamander gets way stronger with its third eye, and then even stronger with self-destruct. Ladros absorbs it and surpasses it, and Asta needs black form to defeat it. But in the Elf arc, we get introduced to the elves, who surpass the Fire Spirit. 5 of them combine their spells, and then their spells get quadrupled, but Asta can reflect it with his base power, and half asleep Licht can bully Black Form Asta with Yudo. And if Lumiere scales to a full power Licht, it does support the planetary range of power, especially when you look at the battle between Reeve and Dorothy in Glamour World. Moons are created in their battle, and if Reeve or Dorothy casually making moons while they're fighting, this would actually really support the idea of Lumiere being in that planetary levels of power. But this feat can get considerably more impressive if we talk about the size of the Black Clover planet, as all of these calculations are made with the assumption that the Black Clover planet is the size of the Earth. But there are many hints in the series that the Black Clover world is far bigger than ours. For example, in the data book, it is stated that the range of the Fire Spirit Salamander's breath is 1,000 Ri, which equates to just under 4,000 kilometers. But also, despite the salamander having a range of 1,000 Ri with its salamander's breath, it cannot destroy the Witch's Forest in a single blast. On top of that, the salamander actually needs the power of the Third Eye of Fauna and the self-destruct magic to be able to be strong enough to destroy the Witch's Forest in a single blast. This would mean that the Witch's Forest, a small country in the Black Clover world, is relative in size to the United States of America. Pixel scaling the Witch's Forest to the size of the Clover Kingdom makes Clover a multi-continental sized country. This wouldn't be a first time thing in fiction. But then if we use the image of the globe here and seeing the Clover Kingdom on that globe, we can actually use this new size of the Clover Kingdom to gauge how big the planet is. And it actually comes out to being a little bit bigger in volume than Jupiter, the solar system's largest planet. And that kind of makes sense because these characters in Black Clover have travel speeds of many times the speed of sound, even early in the series, but it can still take them a long time, even hours to travel just from one realm to the next in the Clover Kingdom. And this changes the calculations because remember, this would make the cloud much bigger, but also we need to have traveled much faster to cover that much more surface area. Using these numbers, we actually get Demon Licht's calculation of making the cloud all the way up to planetary, and then Lumiere splitting that cloud in 7 seconds at large planetary. And then that would mean that the statement of Demon Licht being able to destroy the world, putting him in the large planetary levels of power. Now there's a very common refutation to Black Clover power scaling that I've seen getting popularized in the last few months. That is the idea that anybody who scales below Conrad cannot be country level. The argument is as follows. Conrad, a wizard king, needed to use the Imperial Sword to augment his power with the strength of all the previous wizard kings, as well as absorbing the magic power of almost everybody in the country to do a gargantuan combo spell, all just to destroy the Clover Kingdom. I first want to say that it's pretty funny, because I have seen people use this now, even though I had seen the same people argued the movie wasn't canon, but now that there's an argument from the movie that can limit the Black Clover power scaling, all of a sudden the movie becomes canon in their eyes? Make it make sense. But if we take it to face value, that would mean that Lumiere could not be even close to the levels of power I explained in this video, because he would just be a small fraction of Conrad's power. But the argument just doesn't work, because it's contradicted by feats from Lumiere in the manga, where he said that if he blocked Demon Lick's attack, it would still destroy the country, which would signify he has higher than country level power. On top of that, it's actually stated in the movie that Conrad is going to destroy the continent at the foundational level, not just the kingdom. And again, it's the foundation of the continent. And I have seen multi-continental calculations for that, and that's before assuming the Black Clover world is a large planet. Also remember, the continent is magically amplified from the mana vein, and I've also seen various calculations from Conrad's meteor that gets it anywhere from multi-continental to small planetary. And if we go by the novelization of the movie, there's this statement here, that Asta needs to save the country. No, the entire world. This is in the context of him seeing Conrad's massive meteor. This pretty much throws out any sort of vague definitions of the word Sekai, as he is saying that it is more than just the country, implying that Conrad's meteor is going to destroy the planet. So no, Conrad is not just country level, and this is really just an issue of attack potency versus destructive capacity. This happens in a lot of series. Black Clover is not excluded from this. Conrad has higher attack potency than Demon Lick, but he does not have the destructive capacity of Demon Lick, with a much higher range to output its power. This happens in many other series. I'll use Dragon Ball for example. In the very beginning of Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Beerus' clash threatened to destroy the entire macrocosm, which is made up of multiple universes. But then, it is made a big deal, many arcs later, that Zamasu is galaxy level. This is because of the old debate of attack potency versus destructive capacity. One character can cause way more destruction in terms of their range, but would still get one shot by a character who has higher attack potency than them, and this can become consistent with other feats. For example, there are calculations where creating a dimension with a moon in it can be large planetary in power, and Dorothy or Reeve did that, which can make them large planetary, supporting large planetary Demon Licked and Lumiere. On top of that, in the Elf arc, Yami can create black holes of this size, which would require large planetary levels of energy. There are a lot of factors about the black holes that do make them similar to real-world black holes. They're not confirmed to be, but if Yami is holding his own against large planetary level characters and can make black holes, then it actually makes it even more likely that the black holes are real. But I'm not saying for sure that they are, it is just supporting evidence. So you can actually scale the first Wizard King beyond large planetary. For example, there's the notorious Glamour World scaling. Multiple canon scenes show that Glamour World has stars in the sky, and Dorothy and Reeves fight, destroy it, which can make either of them multi-solar system, and Lumiere would scale above both of them, making him reach those levels as well. It's also stated to be infinite in size, which would make Lumiere high universal for the same reasoning. When it comes to speed, people like to say that Lumiere is just the speed of light, because he uses light magic, which has been stated on numerous occasions to be light speed. There is even an editor's note that just says that Lumiere travels across the kingdom at the speed of light, but Lumiere was not close to going full power when that statement was issued. He's holding two people, and he wasn't even using Mana Zone yet. Because he is more powerful and faster than the likes of Patri, and should be faster than Dark Elf Patri, that would easily put him at least faster than light narratively. And there are multiple calculations that he would scale above. This feat of Mirliona moving faster than Raya's light magic has been calculated to be anywhere from 16 to 95 times the speed of light. It's actually implied that she wasn't even going all out yet, which would put Lumiere at least at the faster than light plus tiers of speed. There's also this calculation where Asta moves so fast that it seems that Mirio's fire spells aren't even moving, and there are lowball calculations of this being just under 200 times the speed of light. Keep in mind, this is base Asta. Black form would make him several times faster, and that would only scale him that slower than Half Asleep Licked, and Half Asleep Licked is like as fast as base Lumiere, which is slower than Mana Zone Lumiere. Since we know that Mana Zone is at least a 2 times multiplier, and Asta's black form is at least a 4 times multiplier, this would make Lumiere over 1,000 times the speed of light with his Mana Zone, putting him in the massively faster than light plus tier of speed. Just like for attack potency, there are much higher levels for speed we can go over, though I do have issues with their consistency. It is confirmed in the data book and light novels that Julius's time magic shuts off power and stops time, meaning that characters like Raditz and Voltos with no magic power can both perceive and move within stopped time, even though just chapters before, Asta's speed was an issue for them, which can give inaccessible speed scaling to Lumiere as well. Inaccessible speed is a tier beyond infinite speed, where characters can move so fast, they can move any distance in 0 time. I don't find this consistent though, but it's still useful to bring up if you're going to scale Lumiere against other characters who have similar arguments of inaccessible speed that also are not very well supported, like Gojo for example. In addition to Lumiere's remarkable speed and strength, he possesses formidable abilities and light magic, capable of unleashing massive swords. His mastery of strength is evident when he binds the demon Licht in the anime, showcasing his prowess with these giant swords. However, his most impressive ability is Mana Zone. This unique skill allows Lumiere to make his own spatial territory around him, absorbing natural mana to significantly enhance his reaction speed, increase spell quantity and potency, and cast spells from any point within that space, whether behind, beneath, above, or even inside his opponents. Moreover, possessing a 4-leaf Clover Grimoire grants him supernatural luck, a trait crucial in battles, aiding him in developing strategic spells and accelerating his power growth. Lumiere's Mana Zone also provides him with resilience against abilities like Power Nullification. As we see in Noelle's fight against Kevin, her ability was Power Nullification, but Mana Skin allowed for Noelle to resist that, and Mana Zone is just a better version of Mana Skin, which means that Lumiere would have a pretty big resistance against characters who had the Power Nullification ability if you were to fight them. And don't forget, if he has the Imperial Sword from the Black Clover movie, that would change a lot, because not only would it make Lumiere more powerful, but it also weaken any of his enemies, as he'd be slowly draining their power and also absorbing parts of their soul to use their own power against them. Because we do know the Imperial Sword doesn't just take magic power, it absorbs magic itself, letting him use the magical attributes of the people he absorbs from. Having a tool that both weakens his opponents and increases his own power at the same time would be incredibly handy. Now just imagine if Lumiere was born in the modern age with access to way better, more complex magic, and actually reached his prime age and was more focused on fighting. He would probably be seen as a lot more powerful character within the Black Clover mythos. My hopes are that we will see Lumiere once again. Maybe Lucius will bring him back as a paladin, which would be very interesting. With that being said, let me know your thoughts on the video down below. Do you think Lumiere is this strong, or is he stronger than you ever thought before? Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did enjoy, comment your thoughts down below. You can join my Discord, or you can follow me on Twitter. Also, you can become a member of my channel, get access to more videos every single week. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Peace out.